Wednesday night and we're here. My name's Apostate Alex. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining. Power Thetans. It's such a good song, isn't it? I'm I'm gonna work on by popular demand after the protest that I held the other week. The Do You Believe in Life After Ron? You guys voted and said that I should do a cover, so I will do. It's on the list, but I'm pretty overwhelmed this week. There's a lot going on, so it may be on the back burner for a little while. Thank you to everyone for joining in the chat. I've started a few comments already that I will be bringing up. But hello, Karen, AGT Mum, Goosebump, Dogs Rule, Kathy, Unstable Datum. All you guys, thank you for coming back. So the news is that tomorrow, East Grinstead Town Council will be finally hearing my complaint about their actions and response to the Scientology problem. I won't go too much into depth about the goings on over the last few months because it has been quite a lengthy and turbulent journey. But to summarize, I've been at war with the council and the mayor. Apparently, East Grinstead is where Scientology have their UK headquarters, and tomorrow they're going to be hearing the complaint. Now, the original panel that they gave me were all councillors who were involved in the complaint, and I got back to them and said, I don't really think that's fair. They then reviewed and gave me a new panel of town councillors who all featured in Scientology promo videos on Scientology's website, which I said wasn't fair and not a great idea for my mental health, considering they're supporting the people who I was abused by. So they then got back to me and gave me a new panel, and it's looking really positive. The councillors, Councillor Hughes and Councillor Pond, who are hearing the complaint tomorrow, are councillors who, as far as I'm aware, never been to a Scientology event. They don't appear in any Scientology propaganda. I don't know whether they support or don't support Scientology, but they don't actively promote Scientology, which is fantastic. And that, I think, means that we're in a good stance, or in good stead, for a fair and impartial hearing to my complaint. Now, one thing I want to make clear is I can't record or stream or anything like that the complaint itself. It is a private hearing that I'm allowed to bring one person with me who's bring someone with me who's coming, but I can obviously report on it afterwards, so I will be doing that, but I can't record it. So unfortunately we won't have any video or audio recordings of it, but of course I will report back. I also don't know how long it's going to be. It's 11:30 in the morning tomorrow at the East Grinstead Town Council headquarters in East Court. I don't know whether it's going to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours or more. There are a lot of documents to go through. I'm hoping they give me the time that is required to seriously think about what I've said and hear the complaint. I'm going to go over today the actual complaint itself that I filed, the complaints procedure and what to expect. And then I would love to share some of the evidence with you, but I don't think that's wise just yet. Over 1,000 pages of evidence have been supplied by both sides. Mostly me, to be honest. I supplied more evidence than they did, but we had to submit that last week, so there's 7 days to review. I'm not going to share that all with you just yet because I don't know which bits are confidential and which bits aren't, and I don't want to jeopardize the impartial hearing tomorrow. So maybe afterwards I'll share some of it with you, but I can let you know that the evidence I supplied includes the email chains back and forth, statements by councillors and so on, a load of Scientology policy to do with safe pointing and the whole infiltration tactics that Scientology employ and fair game. It's all in there and it's been supplied, and hopefully I can bring that in to demonstrate why this is such an important issue and what Scientology are trying to do to control the narrative, and why I've therefore filed a complaint. So I've shared the complaint that I filed with you guys previously, so I'm not going to read it all word for word. However, this is I'll just summarize here. This is the complaint. I talked about the censorship of the council meeting that I attended on the 8th of January, and I complained about why it was censored from the meeting minutes and why the YouTube video was taken down and re-uploaded with the whole public questions portion edited out. I make the point the only people the council is protecting by censoring the public record is the Church of Scientology. It's quite a lengthy statement. one of the things that I make here, unfortunately, by editing out the public questions, you have indeed ridiculed my concerns that the council may be unduly influenced by the Church of Scientology and are indeed showing a complete lack of respect towards those being filmed, as in the people who are speaking at the council meeting who consented to being filmed. As an ex-Scientologist, I'm fighting the attempted censorship of and silencing of my story on a daily basis. I'm fighting an authoritarian cult that has taken too much of my life away. It is attempting to censor me, stop me from speaking out, and control the narrative. I'm shocked, outraged, and horrifically offended that you have once again furthered the aims of the Church of Scientology in its goal of silencing critics. I then go on to ask, where is your compassion, your sympathy, and when will you listen to what we're saying? And I make it clear this is a formal complaint and a request to reinstate the original uploaded version of the meeting minutes and the meeting recording to YouTube. So I fully expect it's not going to be a mind-blowing meeting. I think it's going to be quite boring. So it's kind of a good thing it's not being recorded anyway, because you guys probably would yawn a lot, I'd imagine. I don't expect the council to come back and completely overturn everything and re-upload the video to YouTube and give us the meeting minutes and all of that. I just personally think that that's going to be difficult for them to do. But what I would like is for them to apologize. You know, there's one thing censoring the public record and the meeting minutes and so on. But it's another thing to issue a statement calling me, Antonio Ortega, a journalist who's been reporting on this, bullies. You know, they letterheaded paper called me a vexatious bully and asked me to stop speaking about it on social media. And that sort of behavior is not exactly becoming of a council, in my opinion. And I think that there are better ways they could have approached this situation, take into consideration my mental health and the mental health of other people who have spoken out about their experiences in Scientology at St. Hill, and the effect that their response is having on us. I also think there is a better way they could have handled it that wouldn't have resulted in calling me a bully. So I'm hoping that they will issue an apology for their behavior. And I'm also hoping that they eventually that they actually give me what I've been asking for all this time, which is the opportunity to sit down with the council for a briefing, an hour or 2 hours, where I can explain to them why this is an important issue and why they need to take it seriously. That's what I've been calling for 4 months now, and that's what I'm asking for. And this whole issue could have been completely avoided if they just did that 4 months ago. But for some reason, they're reluctant to sit down in the room with me. The complaints hearing tomorrow is just with 2 councillors. It's not an opportunity to give that briefing that I want to give. It's just to hear my complaint. But I'm hoping that's one of the outcomes. So we will see. Who knows? And of course, I'll report back. Love It here is asking, wait, what? They did, I'm behind. Yes, go and check back some of my previous videos about East Grinstead Town Council and the ongoing shenanigans that has unfolded over the last few months. Let's have a little look at the complaints procedure so I can give you an idea of what is in store for tomorrow. Where are we? Appendix 1 here. So this is the East Grinstead Town Council complaints procedure, and this is basically how it's going to work out. The chairman introduces everybody. The chairman explains the procedure. Complainant, which is me, outlines the ground for my complaint. Members, that's the councillors who are hearing the complaint, ask any questions they want of me. If relevant, the town clerk or other proper officer in attendance is to explain the council's position. And then the councillors then ask any questions to the town clerk or the proper officer taking that the clerk's place. Then the clerk or proper officer and the complainant, that's me, are offered the opportunity of the last word in that order. So I get to be the last one to speak. Then the clerk or proper officer and I will then be asked to leave the room. And then the members, the councillors, will then decide whether or not the grounds for the complaint have been made. And the clerk or other proper officer and I will then return to hear the decision or be advised when the decision will be made. So it's possible that they won't decide an answer or result of my complaint tomorrow. It's possible they need to think about it and get back to me. But we go back in, and then following the conclusion of the meeting, the complainant, that's me, will be advised that the decision of the panel, which is final and no right of further appeal, will be confirmed in writing within 7 days together with details of any action to be taken. So it is entirely possible that we have the hearing tomorrow, present all the evidence, and they go, thank you very much, we'll get back to you, and then they come up with an answer. So don't be surprised if I jump on live stream tomorrow and give an update that isn't really an update, because who knows. But I'm hoping something as simple as agreeing to a meeting where I can, brief them on the importance of Scientology being an issue, and a formal apology is something that they will be able to decide to do tomorrow. I'm hoping that would be the case, and I don't see why it wouldn't be. But who knows? We shall see. There are over 1,000 pages of evidence that will be presented. Obviously, we're not going to go through every single one of those 1,000 pages, but a lot of it is Scientology policy that I'll explain and just pull out the important bits and the key bits that relate to the complaint. So that is the update on what's happening tomorrow. Hannah Reynolds, you may not be able to record the proceedings, but you or representative should be able to take notes. Yes, no one's told me that I can't take notes, and my the person that's coming with me should be able to take notes as well. One thing I'm slightly concerned about is the official minutes or the summary of the complaint hearing will be taken by the council themselves, and it then gets reported at the next town council meeting, which is in a couple of weeks, I believe. So my concern is how fair or impartial those things are going to be, considering that the meeting minutes have been redacted in the past. So I am hoping that they give me the opportunity to review and approve the minutes before they get shown or published at the next council meeting. But who knows? We'll see. I'm in unfamiliar territory. I don't know what to expect. I've not done something like this before, so we shall see. Love it. Would love to hear general reaction tomorrow. Yes, exactly. And I also will be happy to share that with you as soon as I know. Karen, are you certain that it's not a pro-Scientology hearing? Well, look, you can never be certain. But what I can be certain of is the councillors hearing the complaint are councillors who have never, as far as I can tell, been to a Scientology event. They've never positively spoken about Scientology or defended them in any way. And they certainly don't support them publicly in the same way that the original councillors do. So that's a good sign, I hope. AGT Mum, I watched Alex's presentation last evening. Just fantastic. He has such a natural way of explaining the idiosyncrasies of Scientology and connecting with his audience. Thank you so much. That's one thing. If you haven't watched it already, go and check out the talk that I gave in Brighton. I uploaded it yesterday to my channel. I talk in more detail and in more depth about my story in Scientology, how I got in, why I got in, and my state of mind and all that sort of thing. More detail and depth than I ever have before. So go and check that out. It was quite emotional to write, and especially to deliver. It was an interesting experience that I'm still kind of decompressing from now. So please forgive me if I'm not my chirpy normal self, and I'm sure I will be able to respond to that sort of thing later in a couple of days once I've decompressed and thought about how that all went down. But overall, it was wonderful. We had about 40 people in the room, which is more than I expected, to come and hear me talk about my story. And I didn't want to just do a presentation that explains what Scientology is. There is lots of information like that out there, and lots of people that do that far better than me. I thought it would be better to give a bit of my personal story and try and show how anybody can find themselves in a vulnerable state and then fall victim to Scientology's coercive recruitment tactics and manipulation and control techniques. I wanted to demonstrate how that worked for me and my personal experience, and I think it did resonate with a lot of people in the room. The questions that we got at the end of the presentation were really great, and a lot of people were asking, what can I do to help? How can we get involved? So I think that was a positive sign. But yeah, just decompressing at the moment. Philip Jones, thank you so much for the super chat. Great stuff, Alex. Doing the work without the drama. I love it. Best of luck tomorrow. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And yeah, look, drama, I try and stay away from it as much as possible. My focus is on taking down the authoritarian, destructive, harmful, human trafficking, money laundering cult that is the Church of Scientology. And I will continue to focus on that in everything that I do. I had a meeting today with some officials councils that are investigating Scientology. I had another meeting with a journalist today. There's a lot of stuff in the works that I will share with you when I can, but that's absolutely my focus, and will remain so. I think everyone has a voice and everyone has an opportunity to share their thoughts and speak about their beliefs on Scientology and do their bit in protesting, whether that's in person in LA or here in the UK, whether that's holding signs or shouting chants and stuff, or whether that's commenting online. Everyone has a part to play. And I think everybody's input in the fight against Scientology is valid. There's no right or wrong way to do things. We're all working together to try and achieve the same goal. Dogs rule. Thank you, Alex. Your presentation was fantastic. Well done. Thank you so much. And I will do a debrief on it soon. If you guys want to email me or comment down below once the video finishes with some questions you have about that, the presentation that I gave, please do let me know what you want to ask about it, and we could do a debrief video maybe tomorrow or the day after or something. Another question here, Kathy. Alex, sending props to you. Awesome presentation in Brighton. I'm so appreciative of your dedication to giving cult of Scientology an honest exposure it deserves and being such an influential for change. Thank you, Kathy. And look, if someone else wants to take on this fight, I'm more than happy to hand over the reins. I have much better things to be doing with my life, but I'm here in this situation and I'm running with it, and I'm going to keep going until until change happens, and the more people that get on board, the better, because I can't do this on my own. So it's with your support, guys, that I can do this, and will continue to do it. Love it. Email address. My email address is hello@apostatealex.com. It's in the description of the video as well. Catherine. Hey, Catherine, how's it going? Hey, you're still awake. Thank you. Yes, I am. And I'm going to be getting an early night because I have to be up early tomorrow for this complaints hearing. But I just wanted to pop on and give everyone a heads up. Salted caramel whiskey. Didn't Mitch Brisker direct the film shown last night? Yes, he did. And that was one of the funny conversations I had with him when he first started speaking out was, hey, dude, your videos were hugely important and integral to my recruitment. And that's what they were designed to do. And they were very effective. And he apologized. And I said, no, it's great. You know, they're great films. They did a really good job. They did what they were meant to. You don't need to apologize. But yes, he did. He did direct those films. Unstable data, and thank you so much for the super sticker. That's really kind of you. Guys, if you want to support the channel, and help towards me keeping this going, and Scientology Business, the website that I report on Scientology's activities and train fairs and things like that for the council meeting tomorrow. I'm going to Paris next weekend for the opening of the new Ideal org there. All of those things, the best way of supporting is buy me a coffee. There's a link down below, because YouTube take 30% of earnings through super chats and super stickers. So if you want to support with all those ongoing costs, I really would appreciate it through buy me a coffee or PayPal or whatever. There's also an Amazon wish list down there, which I don't really add to very much, but I think some people like to do that. So there's an Amazon wish list if you want to support. But the best way of supporting the channel, as I always say, is commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff, so it pushes the video out to more people, and hopefully we can help more people, because that's what we're here to do. So just a short one, guys. Thank you so much for joining. A bunch of people have been asking about this Stephanie Hutchison article that went out yesterday, and there's a lot of videos going on. Nora and Kellycopter did a video about it, and I'm just going to say that I'm not going to address it right now, because I, to be honest, don't have the headspace for it. I've had a lot going on this week. I'm still processing that mental headfuck of talk that I gave, talking about the trauma and why I joined Scientology and all this sort of stuff. I'm also really focused on the work, the activism, and the council hearing tomorrow, and meetings with Diane Abbott and investigators. There's a lot going on this week, and I'm not avoiding it. I will address it, I'm sure, at some point, but right now I just don't have the headspace to think about it. So please bear with me a day or two before I get my head around it and come up with how I want to respond. But ultimately, you know, I appreciate Stephanie supporting me and defending me in a kind of way. I think I didn't know it was going to happen. I didn't ask her to do it. I didn't ask her to write it. So, you know, I ultimately, very briefly, think that everybody has free speech, and that's what we're all championing here on YouTube. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I think the more people that voice their opinion, the better, whether that's positive or negative about me or anybody else. We're in this space where we are all free to create content and talk online and say what we think. So ultimately, I champion that, whether or not you're on Team Alex or whatever other team there is. Not that there are teams, but you know what I mean? Like whether it's for or against me, I don't care. I want you to create the content that you want to create, even if you hate me. So ultimately, it's great that people are speaking what they think. And in terms of how I feel about the response and all of that, I just need some time to process it all and think about it properly. So please bear with me. But also, ultimately, my focus is Scientology and taking them down and doing the activism work. And, you know, that's where my focus is going to be. So please don't judge me for trying not to get distracted by all this sort of stuff. You know, I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the prize, and people can support me or not support me. That's completely your choice. Either way, you know, we're all trying to achieve the same thing. So I will give it some thought, do some sort of mental health exercises, give it the headspace that it needs. But right now, I'm focused on this council meeting tomorrow because we only have one shot. I have this complaints hearing that's been in the works since January. I only get one chance at this, and if I mess it up, it's going to put a big spanner in the works. And you know, I don't want to jeopardize the work that I've been doing for the last 4 months to try and hold East Grinstead Town Council accountable for their supporting and enabling the child trafficking, you know, abusing cult of Scientology. So right now, that's where all my attention and energy is going. That's what I'm focusing on right now. So please understand, I will get round to thinking about Stephanie's article and all of that in due course. But ultimately, everybody's got freedom of speech, and my focus is elsewhere at the moment. But guys, thank you so much for joining me in this live stream and supporting me. You guys had some really, really lovely comments on the presentation that I gave yesterday in Brighton. Hopefully it's the first of many. I've got a lot in store for you over the next week or two. I had a coffee with Russell Miller yesterday, the author of Barefaced Messiah. He is lovely. What a wonderful man. And we're going to be doing something together very soon. I'm going to continue working on Cause Over Life, the charity project I've been working on for several months here in the UK. We have our first board meeting. I don't even know. My head is all over the place. Is it next week or the week after? I think it's next week. So lots of stuff to come, but just trying to focus on one thing at a time so I don't overwhelm myself. But guys, thank you so much for supporting me and liking, commenting, subscribing, all that sort of stuff. And hopefully I will see you on the next one. And as always, I'm on war footing and I'm not fucking about.